Welcome to week 28 of Instant Value Handicapping. We've spent the last 4 weeks at Saratoga where we have racked up 2 winners and 2 seconds, something like that. But we've chosen 4 races with false favorites. 3 of those 4 false favorites have lost. We're showing positive ROI there, still moving forward with that. This week we're going back to Saratoga for Wednesday's races. We got 1 pick there. But before we do that, there are some big races this weekend, a couple involving the best 3-year-olds in the country. So I'd like to take a look at 2 of those. We'll start with Sunday at Del Mar, the Shared Belief Stakes. Not a graded stakes race, but it drew both the Kentucky Derby winner Medina Spirit and Kentucky Derby hopeful who had a rough trip, Rock Your World. Both horses are front runners. We're going to take a look at that race now. So Medina Spirit's number 2. He's a need to lead horse. Doesn't do well if he has to fight for the lead or is shuffled back behind horses. You'll see Johnny Velasquez in the red cap and the number 2 white saddle blanket take the lead along the rail. Right on his butt there is number 3, Rock Your World. He's also forwardly placed horse. He runs best when he's on the lead or fighting for the lead. He can withstand a pace duel, but he chooses really not to get into one here, and that turns out to be a mistake. The common theme in the 2 big races this weekend was if you're going to take on the champ, you can't just dance with the champ. And here, Rock Your World is just dancing with the champ. Johnny Velasquez on Medina Spirit rushes him to the lead in under 23 seconds for the first quarter. That's very fast. But then, since Rock Your World isn't really going to press the issue, Velasquez just slows his horse down. They hit the 4 furlong mark and is really a slow 47. I believe it was 46.96 seconds. He gave his horse a big rest in that second quarter of the race. Every time Rock Your World makes a move to come up even with his horse, Velasquez just pushes his horse a little bit, has him keep the lead. It's a masterful ride by Johnny Velasquez all the way around here. As they get to the top of the stretch, you'll see 2 horses pull even with Medina Spirit. And it looks like, well, maybe he's all done here, but you can see Velasquez doesn't go to the whip. He knows he has a lot of horse left. He's just real patient. He waits for them to straighten out for the final 1/8 of a mile, and he knows all he has to do here is ask his horse for an 1/8 of a mile sprint. They hit that 6 furlong in about 1:12 flat, very slow. Lots of horse left here. Rock Your World has waited too long to make his move. He comes running at the end, but the issue was decided probably at the 4 furlong mark when they hit that in about 47. So excellent ride by Johnny Velasquez. Pretty easy race really for Medina Spirit because Rock Your World was not out there pushing as hard as he should have and as he probably could have. So that's the Shared Belief Stakes. Medina Spirit, Kentucky Derby winner, wins again. He'll probably be headed to the Breeders' Cup. Rock Your World, nice race, but has to do better. The other big race, the Traverse Stakes at Saratoga, where I pointed out that the only speed in the race was the 1-horse Midnight Bourbon. In that, I was correct. Essential Quality was the big favorite there, ended up winning the race, and we'll take a look at the stretch run here. So what I was hoping for, Midnight Bourbon is capable of running a 6 furlong split of a minute 10 and 3/5, minute 10 and 4/5, which is a little too fast for him. Here he had the chance, and I thought he would run about a 1:11.1, 1:11 and 2/5, which would give him enough of a breather to last a little bit better than he has in the stretch, but it would also be fast enough to force Essential Quality to use up part of his closing kick to stay close early. It would have forced Essential Quality's jockey Luis Saez to make a choice, either fall 5 lengths behind early and have a lot of ground to make up, or use his horse early to stay closer. Instead, what Ricardo Santana did is he killed the pace to 114, a dead slow pace, saving his horse for the stretch run. He was dancing with the champ. He said, okay, we'll reduce this to a quarter-mile sprint at the end of the race, and that's playing to Essential Quality's strength. That Essential Quality is the strongest closer of all the 3-year-olds this year. He's proven it time and again. I think the correct strategy would have been to wear him out early so he doesn't have that explosive kick late. Instead, they danced around and paid the price. You see at the finish, Essential Quality picking off Midnight Bourbon at the end. But it was an exciting race, and Essential Quality, only 1 loss lifetime, probably go to the Breeders' Cup Classic with that record intact. So those were the big races this weekend. We're going to the small races Wednesday at Saratoga. Stay tuned. So our play on Wednesday is in race 10. It's a 1.16 on the turf. It's for New York state-bred maiden special weights. And again, the analysis here and suggested bets are for turf only. If it comes off the turf, none of this applies. The favorite we're going to look at is number 1, Acushla, 7-2 morning line. The alternatives we'll also look at are number 8, Tingling Mint, 6-1 morning line, and number 10, La Victoria, 9-2. So the favorite, why am I willing to bet against the favorite here? This horse can't get out of the gate. First race, she broke 12th of 12 and did not show all that much of a kick late despite the slow start. Then about 5 months later, she broke 8th, 10 lengths back at the start of the race. Showed a little more kick at the end, but not nearly enough to threaten the front runners, not enough to finish in the money. So what you have here is a horse who is a very slow starter and a very mediocre finisher. Add it to that, if that wasn't enough of a negative, 2 races lifetime, a long layoff after each one. So things are not good around the barn here with this horse. There might be physical problems, might be just a lot of training and learning that still needs to be done. Does not deserve favoritism, in my opinion. So 2 shots against here. These New York state-bred races are quite a mix. You have horses with very little talent. You have some expensive horses who don't really live up to that price tag that people paid for them, and you have a lot of potential too. So here I'm going for the potential. There are a lot of horses in here who have failed against weaker company. They've failed in this company. Number 8 hasn't had a chance to fail. First time starter, Tingling Mint. Christophe Clement having a fabulous meet at Saratoga with 21% winners. He wins almost that at that rate with first-time starters too, and he's great getting horses to debut on the turf. He picks up Tyler Gaffalione, an excellent turf rider, and the workouts are good. July 28th, 48 2/5 seconds, breezing from the gate. Very sharp workout. After that, looks like they're pretty satisfied. They gave him an easy 4 furlong on the dirt, followed by an easy 4 furlong on the turf to get him used to that. It looks like they've done everything they can to get him ready. He's got French and British breeding on the dam side. Lemon Drop Kid is the sire. All turf, all quality. He looks pretty good, 6-1. But first time starter, you never know. So we've got odds there for those uncertainties. And we also have a backup plan. Number 10, La Victoria. For Todd Pletcher, They paid $800,000 for this horse, which is a lot to pay for a New York bred. Hopes are high. His first 2 races were in sprints on the dirt. He did not do very well in either of those. They brought him back July 25th, tried to get him on the turf at 1.125 miles. He's out of Tappet, so the longer distance makes perfect sense. It's probably what they were aiming for all along. But the race was taken off the turf. He ran good nonetheless, had the lead at the top of the stretch, just missed by a head. The third place horse was almost 5 lengths behind him in that race. So really promising last race out. Joel Rosario returns for the ride. So you have horse who's a first-time starter here at 6-1. La Victoria, making only his 4th start, has not failed on the turf yet. Finally gets his try. We're going with those 2 against the false favorite at Saratoga. So those are our plays for this week, and be sure to hit subscribe. We had Mark Kramer on for the Slow Train to the Travers, where Mark and I picked, I'd say, the 2 horses most likely to upset Essential Quality. They ran 2nd and 3rd with Essential Quality beating us. So we're hoping to get Mark back for maybe some Breeders' Cup prep races or the Breeders' Cup itself. We'll have his analysis, and you don't want to miss any of that. We also have the fastest 2 minutes in handicapping. Every Friday we pick a stakes race somewhere in the country and analyze that. For now, that's it for Instant Value Handicapping. We'll see you next time.